The German battleship Tirpitz, sister ship to the more famous Bismarck, played a significant yet often overshadowed role during World War II. Named after the German Admiral Alfred von Tirpitz, she was the heaviest battleship ever built by a European navy and represented a potent symbol of Nazi naval power. The Tirpitz never engaged in a major fleet battle, but her presence in Norwegian waters had a profound impact on Allied naval strategy and operations. This essay explores the Tirpitz's journey from its construction to its ultimate demise, emphasizing its strategic importance, the psychological impact it had on the Allies, and the persistent efforts undertaken to neutralize this formidable threat. The Tirpitz's primary role was as a fleet in being, a concept where the mere existence of a powerful warship influences the enemy's strategic decisions. Launched in April 1939 and commissioned in February 1941, the Tirpitz was intended to serve as a deterrent to the British Royal Navy and to protect Nazi Germany's maritime interests. Following the loss of her sister ship Bismarck in May 1941, the Tirpitz became the centerpiece of the Kriegsmarine's surface fleet. Her deployment to Norwegian waters in early 1942 was a strategic masterstroke by the Germans. Norway offered a base from which the Tirpitz could threaten Allied Arctic convoys supplying the Soviet Union, thereby tying down significant Royal Navy resources. The Allies were compelled to maintain a constant and substantial naval presence in the North Atlantic to counter the potential threat posed by the Tirpitz, diverting ships and resources from other crucial theaters of the war. The psychological impact of the Tirpitz on the Allies cannot be overstated. The ship was often referred to as the Lonely Queen of the North, a term reflecting both her isolation in Norwegian fjords and her perceived menace. The British Admiralty viewed her as a major threat, necessitating extensive and costly efforts to neutralize her. The specter of the Tirpitz loomed large over the Arctic convoys. These convoys were vital for delivering war supplies to the Soviet Union, yet the possibility of the Tirpitz sorting out to attack them forced the Royal Navy to allocate battleships, aircraft carriers, cruisers, and destroyers to protect the convoys. This significantly strained British naval resources and added a layer of complexity to convoy operations. The convoys to Murmansk and Arkhangelsk were perilous enough due to harsh weather and U-boat attacks, but the Tirpitz's presence heightened the danger, contributing to high anxiety and caution among Allied naval planners. Although the Tirpitz saw limited direct combat, her presence influenced numerous operations. One of her most notable involvements was during Operation Rösselsprung in July 1942, intended to intercept and destroy the Allied PQ-17 convoy. The convoy was ordered to scatter when it was mistakenly believed that the Tirpitz was about to attack, leading to a devastating U-boat and Luftwaffe assault that resulted in the loss of 24 out of 35 merchant ships. The mere threat of the Tirpitz had indirectly caused one of the worst convoy disasters of the war. In September 1943, the Tirpitz finally saw direct action during Operation Source, a daring raid by British X-class midget submarines. These submarines managed to breach the heavy defenses of the Altenfjord where the Tirpitz was anchored and placed explosive charges under her hull. The resulting explosions caused significant damage, putting the Tirpitz out of action for several months. Although the battleship was repaired and returned to service, this operation marked a turning point in the relentless pursuit to neutralize her. The Allies launched several large-scale air raids against the Tirpitz, utilizing various strategies and technologies in their efforts to destroy her. Operation Tungsten in April 1944 involved a meticulously planned carrier strike, resulting in severe damage to the battleship and further delaying her operational readiness. Subsequent operations, including Operations Mascot, Goodwood, and Paravane, continued the relentless pressure, each contributing to the gradual degradation of the ship's combat effectiveness. One of the most successful attacks was Operation Catechism in November 1944, conducted by RAF Bomber Command. Utilizing new tallboy bombs, specially designed for penetrating heavily armored targets, the RAF managed to inflict fatal damage on the Tirpitz. The bombs caused catastrophic damage, leading to the capsizing of the battleship in Tromsø Fjord and the loss of over 1,000 crew members. The Tirpitz, once a formidable symbol of Nazi naval power, was now a sunken wreck, marking the end of a significant chapter in naval warfare. The Tirpitz's legacy is multifaceted. Militarily, she served her purpose as a fleet in being, tying down Allied naval resources and altering the strategic landscape of the North Atlantic and Arctic theaters. The persistent efforts to neutralize her demonstrated the lengths to which the Allies would go to mitigate threats and ensure the success of their naval operations. The story of the Tirpitz also highlights the evolution of anti-ship warfare during World War II. From midget submarines to precision air raids using specially designed bombs, the array of tactics and technologies employed against her showcases the ingenuity and determination of the Allied forces. Additionally, the Tirpitz holds a place in cultural memory, symbolizing both the power and the vulnerability of battleships in the face of modern warfare. Her story is a testament to the complexities of naval strategy and the psychological impact of maritime threats. The battleship Tirpitz, despite not engaging in any major fleet battles, carved out a distinguished and infamous place in the annals of World War II history. Her strategic positioning in Norway forced the Allies to divert significant resources and attention, illustrating the effectiveness of a fleet in being. The relentless and varied Allied efforts to neutralize her highlight the evolution of wartime tactics and technologies. Ultimately, the Tirpitz's story is one of strategic influence, psychological impact, and the enduring legacy of one of the most formidable warships of her time.